Hello and welcome to the Explore Arizona Schools Practitioner Training from Read on Arizona and the Arizona Statewide Family Engagement Center project. This presentation is presented by the Arizona Department of Education Early Childhood Education Unit. To begin this training, we will first navigate to the Read on Arizona website. You may click on the link at the top left from this slide to go to the home page. From the home page, you will find the Resources tab on the top menu bar. Point to the Resources tab on the top menu and then click on Arizona Family Engagement Center link from the drop-down menu. From the Arizona Family Engagement Center page, you will click on Explore Arizona Schools. Next, you will click on the Visit Tool button to go to the Explore Arizona Schools site. Now we are on the Explore Arizona Schools site. You will see that there are several considerations listed that can help you in your school search. You can either search by location or search by school. You will want to ask the individual what he or she is looking for in terms of a school for their child. Some questions you might want to ask are, what is the most important to you in your child's education? What characteristics are you looking for when selecting a school for your child to go to? If they already know a specific school to search for, then you will click on Search School in blue letters at the top right of this slide. This will take you directly to slide 34 of this presentation, which demonstrates what it looks like to search for a specific school name. If he or she does not know what school name to search for, then you will click on Search Location in blue letters at the top left of this slide, or simply proceed to the next slide, which demonstrates how to search by location. So let's search by location. This is a good time to ask some additional questions, such as, would you like to search for locations closer to your home? Or is it easier for you to have a location closer to your work? Will there be a friend or relative dropping off or picking up your child to and from school? Perhaps they would like to find a location that is within close proximity to a caregiver. Find out more information about the location that is important to them. You can enter a specific address, city, or zip code, and an individual can also select Use Current Location, which will allow GPS to access their location to find nearby schools. For this demonstration, I will use the zip code 85012. After entering the zip code, you will see that there are a list of schools that show up on the next page. This list has 129 schools within a default radius of 5 miles. We can broaden our search or increase the radius, which will add more schools to the list, or we can narrow our search by decreasing the radius. You will see that after narrowing our radius to 3 miles, our list went from 129 to 51 schools. Some questions to ask or consider may be, are there too many schools on the list, or are there too few schools on the list? In many urban areas, there are a large number of schools in close proximity, therefore it may be helpful to narrow the search radius to shorten the list. However, in rural communities, there may be a much shorter list of schools within a 5-mile radius, and you may want to increase the radius to have more schools to look at. You can even further narrow the list of schools using the filters on the left-hand column. We will look into these filters more closely later on in this presentation. If the individual wants to go to the map view now prior to selecting any filters, then you can click on the Map View Filters link on the bottom left of this slide. This will take you directly to slide 21 of this presentation, which addresses looking at the list of schools on a map. If he or she would like to continue filtering the school list before viewing on a map, you may continue to the next slide, number 12. There are several sorting categories above the list of school names. Clicking once on a feature will list schools in ascending order, and clicking twice will list schools in descending order, or vice versa, depending on the category. You can sort the list by school name. The default list is alphabetically from A to Z. So clicking on the link on the school name feature will sort the schools the opposite from Z to A. Clicking on the school name again will sort it back from A to Z. You can also sort by school type, public or charter. Please note that sometimes you need to be patient after clicking a sorting feature since it may take a few seconds for the list to sort. Clicking on the school type will first sort the list with public schools listed first. Clicking on school type again will then sort the list with charter schools listed first. Again, this may take a few seconds to sort. An easier way to view school type is actually by using the public or charter filters on the left-hand column. You can click public or charter and it filters out that school type in your list. When you are discussing public versus charter schools, it may be helpful to give a brief explanation of the difference. Charter schools are publicly funded, privately managed, and semi-autonomous schools of choice. They do not charge tuition and do not have geographical boundaries for enrollment. They receive public funding similarly to traditional schools and must hold the same academic accountability measures as public schools. You can also sort by grade level, which sorts by all grades, elementary, high school, and middle school grades. Notice that when I move the mouse to grade level, it says sort by school type in the black box, although it is actually sorting by grade level. So clicking on grade level will first sort by elementary, then middle school, and then it will go back to all grades, and it groups the schools by the grade levels that are served. Clicking on grades will sort the schools by showing the youngest grade level served at that school. You can see that it shows all of the schools serving pre-K and above at the top of the list. And you scroll down and you will see the same grade level served. Clicking grades again, it will revert back to sorting to show grades 3 and up, followed by 5 and up. And then clicking grades again, it will revert back to sorting by pre-K and up. If I were to scroll all the way down the list, it would show higher grade levels such as 6 through 8 for middle schools or 9 through 12 for high schools. Clicking on enrollment will list schools by enrollment size from largest down to smallest. Clicking on enrollment again will sort the list of schools from smallest enrollment size to largest. Clicking on the ELA sorting feature will show the schools with the highest passing ELA percentage at the top. You can point to an ELA score and see what the passing category for that school is compared to the state average. Clicking again on the ELA sorting feature will show the schools with the lowest passing ELA percentages first. It may be helpful to explain that ELA scores are based on the school's annual English and Language Arts scores from the AZM2 tests, formerly known as AZ Merit. Clicking on the math sorting feature will sort the schools by math percentages, low to high. Clicking again will sort the schools by math percentages, high to low, as shown above. Math scores are based on the school's annual math scores from the AZM2 tests, formerly known as AZ Merit. This might be a good time to explain the colors of the arrows next to the ELA and math scores. The purple color means that there are no scores reported for that school, so it is not yet rated. Red indicates a very low score, while orange is in the low range. Yellow arrows show scores in the middle to average range, and bright green indicates high scores, while dark green indicates very high scores compared to the state average. The A to F letter grade feature sorts the list of schools by their ADE letter grade. The feature will sort schools by lower grades first, beginning with unrated or not rated, and the A to F letter grade button clicking on it again will show the A-rated schools first. Clicking on it again will go back to unrated and not rated, followed by F, D, etc. The State Board of Education determines the criteria for each school classification or grade rating. The A to F letter grade system includes the following criteria. Number 1, percentage of proficient students on AZ Merit or AZM2. Number 2, indicators of student gain or growth. Number 3, English language proficiency and growth. Number 4, graduation rate. This is for high schools only. And number 5, college and career readiness. Now we are going to look at the list of schools in map view. So click on View on Map, and you will see a green circle on the map. Within the green circle shows all of the schools in our current search radius. Notice that the filter column remains the same when you click on Map View. At this point, you can click on a specific school on the map or use one of the filter tools to narrow the list on the map. Within the map view, you can zoom in to get a closer look at a specific area. You can click on the plus sign on the lower right-hand area of the map to zoom in. Then you can click and drag the mouse to move around on the map. To zoom out, you then would click on the minus button to zoom out. And at any time, you can click the home button to go back to your original map view. You can also zoom in and out by using the scroll button on your mouse. Scroll up to zoom in and scroll down to zoom out. If you want to see a satellite view, you can click on the imagery with labels icon to view a satellite view of the map. Now let's filter by grade level. You can click on elementary and only view elementary schools on the map. Again, you can zoom in and out to get a closer look. And next you can filter by middle schools and then finally high schools. Please note that you can only filter by one grade level and you cannot select more than one to look at. Next, we can filter by public or charter school. Notice that public schools are shown in blue and charter schools are shown in red. If you have not already done so, you may give a brief explanation of the difference between public and charter schools. You can also filter by full or half-day kindergarten options by clicking full day or half day. Here you can give a brief explanation about Arizona legislation regarding full and half-day kindergarten. The state of Arizona only provides funding for half-day kindergarten, therefore schools are only required to provide half-day options. Some schools provide full-day kindergarten at a cost to parents or guardians, while other schools provide free full-day kinder options to families utilizing other funding sources. You can filter your map view schools by ELA and math proficiency. Selecting ELA proficiency will show schools that have ELA scores above that of the state average. Selecting math scores will do the same. You can click on both ELA and math features or one or the other. If you have not already done so, it may be helpful to explain that ELA and math scores are based on the school's annual English and Language Arts, as well as math scores from the AZ-M2 tests, formerly known as AZ Merit. You can select a range of proficiency scores you would like to view for ELA and math. Sliding the left button will change the minimum scores, and sliding the right button will change the maximum scores. Keep in mind that if you still have above state average ELA and math proficiencies selected, that might affect your proficiency range viewing. Now let's filter the schools by letter grade. You can click on each letter to see the schools that have earned that ADE letter grade. Please note that this feature only allows you to select one letter grade at a time. So clicking on A, B, C, or D will show the schools with that ADE letter grade. You can also filter the school list by Title I status. Clicking Yes will show Title I schools, and clicking No will show schools without Title I status. Again, you can zoom in and scroll around your map to view different schools and to get a closer look at any of the areas. You may want to explain that a school with a Title I school-wide program, which is primarily addressed in Section 1114 of Title I Part A, there is a link in the notes, that school receives Part A funds to upgrade the entire educational program of a school that serves an eligible school attendance area in which not less than 40% of the children are from low-income families, or not less than 40% of the children enrolled in the school are from such families. The focus of a school-wide program is comprehensive school-wide reform to ensure that all students, especially those considered most academically at risk, are able to attain academic proficiency based upon state academic standards. You can click on individual schools to view the name, address, and letter grade for that school. You can also click on the Zoom to button to take a closer view of the school location and the surrounding area. Clicking on the school name will collapse the identifying information, and then clicking on it again will show the letter grade and address. Clicking on the Home button will return back to the original screen view at any time. Some of the schools may be listed as NR for the school letter grade. NR means that the school has not yet been evaluated. This could be due to the school being new and there is insufficient data, or this could be because they are going through an improvement process. If you would like to search for a specific school name, you can enter it in the Search by School section of the Explore Arizona Schools homepage. From the map view or the homepage of the Explore Arizona Schools tool, you can enter a specific school name to learn more about that school. Just simply begin typing a school name and it will begin to auto-populate that name. Clicking on the school name or hitting enter when it is highlighted will display that school's information below. At the top of the page, you will see the school name, the district, physical address, phone number, and a link to the school website. Below that, you will see the school type, grades served, enrollment, percentage of schools in free or reduced lunch, followed by the Title I status and school letter grade. You can also click on Check Location to see the location of the school on the map. This is especially helpful if you went directly to Search by School and have not yet viewed any schools on a map view. You can click Close to return to the school information page. In the academic section for each school, you will see data for ELA, math, and science scores. As you can see, hovering on each data point will give percentages and explanations for the numbers. On the right-hand side, you will see a chart displaying data for the previous 4 years compared to the state averages. You can also hover on each section of the pie chart to see the percentages for each proficiency level. This may be a good time to explain the proficiencies used for scoring. Minimally proficient shows minimal understanding of grade level expectations, and the students will likely need support to be ready for the next grade level. Partially proficient shows partial understanding of grade level expectations, and the students are likely to need support to be ready for the next grade. Proficient shows strong understanding of grade level expectations, likely to be ready for the next grade, and highly proficient shows advanced understanding of grade level expectations, and the students are highly likely to be ready for the next grade. Below the academic section, you will see the student body data. At the top is student enrollment. For this school, it displays the past 8 years of enrollment, and you can hover on each year to see the total enrollment numbers. Below the total enrollment, it breaks down grade level enrollment for the previous year. Below student enrollment, you will find student demographic information. Each color of the wheel displays a different race or ethnicity represented at the school. The next chart shows student minority data and percentages, followed by gender distribution throughout the school. The chart below shows enrollment subgroups, which display percentages of students who are English language learners, or ELL, students who qualify for free or reduced lunch, or students who receive special education services, or SPED. And finally, the last data section shows the percentage of students eligible for free or reduced lunch and the trend from previous years. Thank you for participating in this training presented by the Arizona Department of Education Early Childhood Unit. For questions or additional information, please contact Terry Clark from Read On or Amy Klemp from Dynamic Analysis. We hope this training will help you navigate the Explore Arizona Schools tool and help others find important information on schools and education throughout the state of Arizona.